can't decide what to make, so I'm letting fate choose for me. I put together a spin wheel with some different options on it, and I did already spin it, and I landed on a beanie. And I already got started on a beanie, and then I may have also finished the beanie. Here she is. It's in this nice warm beige color. It's really nice. It's all done, ends weaved in and everything, ready to go up on my website. And I was gonna go through the options with you and spin again, but my spin wheel did not save. So we're gonna have to do this again. For this next spin, we're gonna put in some new and some of the same options. So I still have more than enough yarn to make another beanie, so we'll put that in again. I'm also gonna put in bandana, bucket hat, because even though it's not really the season for it yet, the season will come. I also have some yarn that I think would look really good as a scarf. We could also do an ear warmer. I'm also going to put in a book sleeve. And those are going to be my 6 options for now, just because I had to just jot them down really quickly. And we're going to spin, and we're going to see what the next thing is that we're going to make. Okay, I guess we're making a scarf. We kind of have a lot of options for this. We have wool, and we have some different acrylics here. We have some different blends down there. I think I'm gonna go with this yarn right here. This is Crochet Air Blow yarn in a lovely purple color. I am gonna double strand this and crochet a scarf. And I think I'm gonna keep it very simple. I think I'm just gonna do double crochets. Yeah, let's do that. A little update. I finished the one smaller like scrap that I was using, and here is what we're looking like. It's just a really simple double crochet, and I'm doing 24, I think, double crochets across, and then I'm just going to keep going on the length until I think it's long enough. So I am going to tie on another skein here, and I'm liking the double stranding. I did have to do some trial and error to find the best hook for this, but I ended up using a 7mm, because according to Ravelry, this is an Aran weight yarn, but I don't think that's true. I think it's probably more like a DK, but I don't know. So I'm just gonna tie on a new skein and keep going. And it's probably gonna take me maybe a couple days to get it done, I think. Hello friends, good morning. It is many days later, and I thought we could chat about this scarf. I am attaching my final skein of this yarn. I've been working on this, you know, here and there, on and off. It's turning out pretty good. It is getting pretty long. Since I'm just attaching my last skein that I have right now, I am going to just use up all the yarn I have, and then that's how long it is. This skein is getting pretty low, so when this runs out, I'm just gonna pull from both sides of this and hope that I don't end up with just a big tangled mess. A couple things about this yarn. I got this yarn from my grandma. She just gave me a bunch of yarn that she wasn't using. How do I put this nicely? It smells like an attic. It was probably in storage for quite a while. So I'm gonna have to wash this scarf, and it's not necessarily like super scratchy, but it is, what is the fiber content of this? 55% wool, 20% acrylic, and 25% nylon. So it's scratchy to me, but that's because I only need about 1% of wool before I find something too scratchy. So it's not actually scratchy, it's just me being sensitive. But that does mean that I'm not keeping this for myself. I think what I'm gonna do with this is I'm gonna donate it, because it's currently extremely cold and snowy where I live, and I know somewhere that I can drop this scarf off that it'll go to someone who needs it, and it's good timing, and it's likely that someone does need it right now. So I am going to donate this to hopefully help someone in my local community. And it is also, I mean, I'm noticing when I'm crocheting with it and having it on me, it is very nice and warm. So I think that's what I'm going to end up doing with it, just because I feel like that's the best use of this right now. But yeah, I do have to clean it first because it does smell quite strongly. It's not necessarily a bad smell, but it's just, it has a smell. I mean, it's very simple. It's just a double crochet back and forth forever and ever. But I am happy that I could put this yarn to good use. Not only is it, you know, yarn from my stash, but it's also, you know, yarn from my grandma's stash. So it's nice that it can actually get used and not just sit around, because it is quite nice yarn. That's my current plan right now with this. I guess I will come back and show you when it's done, I suppose. Alrighty friends, it has been quite a while. I have been under the weather, but now that the purple scarf is completely done, I have washed and blocked it. It doesn't smell weird anymore. It is ready to be donated, and it's time to move on to the next project on our list. The spin wheel I put together kept disappearing, which was probably my fault, but I got an app now, so take 3, I guess. The current wheel has book sleeve, shrug, bag, scarf, bandana, bucket hat, beanie, ear warmer, and blanket progress, because I'm working on a blanket right now. So let's spin the wheel and see what we get. A bag. Oh, what do I do with that? I do have a lot of DK weight cotton, so I could make just one of those standard granny square bags where you put them together, like, what is it, 9 of them or 13 of them or something, and you put them together and add straps to make a bag. I could do that. I do also have a cone of black fingering weight cotton that I've used to make a bag before, which looks like this, but that does take a while. It does look nice, but it does take forever to make. I could also do the same thing, but with a DK weight cotton. That wouldn't be a bad idea. I could also make a checkered bag. There are lots of bags. I think I'm gonna have to go into my Notion and see how much I have of certain types of yarn to see if I have enough. The amount of yarn that I have is probably gonna decide what I end up going with, because I would like to use the yarn that's not used for custom orders so that I still have that available. I'm staring at my yarn, which is why I'm looking over here. Yeah, I'm gonna take a look and see what we can do. All right, I checked out my grammage of yarn. I do have enough left of this yarn to make another one of those mesh bags, but I don't think I want to do that. I think it's going to take too long. Yeah, I'm going to skip that. The other thing is, for my DK cotton, if you exclude my custom order yarn, I don't have enough to make like a granny square bag that isn't just a solid color. But I do have a lot of this, which is like a slightly off-white color. I got this during Black Friday from Hobby. So it's the specific like Black Friday edition of it. It is different though than the regular cotton 8/8. So do not recommend. getting the Black Friday things. Anyway, I do have this, and I have a lot of this. So I could make a whole bag that's just white, a decent option. I also have quite a lot of this, which is a multicolor yellow vibe. That could be cute and fun for summer. It is still only February when I'm filming this. There is a ton of snow outside. Anyway, could be fun. Could be, you know, making things early, I guess. I think the smart decision actually would be to choose the yellow, because this guy, I do have a lot of it, but it is also one of my custom order yarns. So it can get used for that. The yellow one I have no plans for, and I bought it quite a while ago, so it does need to be used up. So I'm gonna go with this yarn. Now I have to decide what type of bag I want to make. I have wanted to make one of those granny square bags, but I don't know how that would look in just this and not like a standard granny square with different colors for every row. And I don't think I have a solid color that would be good for connecting them together and doing straps, except for I guess the white, but that doesn't really match. I've also made a mesh market bag, you know, the one by Stephanie Z on YouTube. In this yarn it was just a different color and like a pinky color. I did not enjoy making that. It was not for me. It was not fun. I don't want to make another one. So unless I were to find something else, I think my best option is to just try out the mesh bag that I've already made in the black and try it out in this yarn, because I think that would look pretty cute. So I think that's what we're gonna do. When I made the first one, I used a tutorial from Viv Crochets here on YouTube. So I'll be doing that again. Last time I just adapted it to do like more rows and stuff because I had a much thinner yarn. I think in the tutorial she probably uses like a 4-weight. This is still a 3-weight, so I might have to adjust a little bit, but it's a bag, so it's very adjustable and it's fine. That is gonna be nice, and I think it's gonna, I hope it's gonna turn out cute. Yeah, let's give it a shot. We'll try. We'll see how it turns out. All right, I ran through my first skein of yarn, and it is also almost dinner time, so I'm gonna take a break. But this is how far I got with that one skein. Pretty far, so I don't foresee running out of yarn to be an issue. But right now I'm just building up the height of the mesh portion, and it's turning out really cute. I really like this color. So next is just building up the mesh, and then we can move on to the straps. Again with the horrible lighting, sorry. I just fastened off for the body of the bag. This is going so fast. I'm really happy I did the DK weight instead of the fingering weight, because I would not be anywhere close to this amount of progress. I have marked off with my little stitch markers where the straps are gonna go. I have just cracked into my 3rd skein of the yarn, and all that remains is just doing the straps, one on each side, and then I think the straps are maybe slip stitched together or sewn together at the top. Unsure, but that's fine. It's gonna build up from each side and then connect in the top like this. That is the final step to finishing off this cute little bag. Alrighty friends, with that, the bag is ready. It turned out so nice. I'm really happy with it. I did make a couple like small, not noticeable, super unimportant mistakes while I made this. First of all, in my seam here, you might be able to see it. In my seam here, I accidentally had an extra stitch, so I had to chain 2 instead of 1 between the last square. You really cannot tell that much, and it doesn't really matter. And then also, when I was going around the edges of the opening here, I got the order mixed up on what to do when, but again, it turned out just fine. So, not an issue, and I'm really happy with it. And this ended up being a one-day project, which is fantastic. Now, I do need to give my hands a rest, so I won't be crocheting anymore today, but I thought we could go ahead and spin the wheel again for the next project. I am going to remove bag though, because we did that, and I don't really want to make another one. Let us spin the wheel yet again. A beanie. I could probably do that. I think I have some wool yarn that I could probably use for that. But again, not right now. So we will choose some yarn and get started on that project later, probably tomorrow. I'll see you then. Hi, it's tomorrow now. Just kidding. I realized that, first of all, I don't want to make a beanie right now. And secondly, it is still cold a lot of places, but beanies aren't a great seller for me. So it doesn't seem like it would be that worth my time. And thirdly, we did already actually make a beanie in this video. You just barely saw it, so I kind of forgot. But we did, so I'm gonna veto and we're gonna spin again. I'm gonna remove beanie from the wheel and we will spin again. A bucket hat. We can do that. It might seem kind of odd that I'm purposefully making like a very summery bag and a bucket hat when looking out of my window. We have like a good half meter of snow, and that's just on the roof that I can see. But basically it's future-proofing, I guess. And as far as bucket hats are concerned, I do offer custom bucket hats, so you just choose the color you want. And I haven't made all of the colors because I have a set color palette, but I don't have photos of all of those colors. I want to slowly but surely go through and make one in every color so that the colors are represented and you can see a photo of the finished bucket hat on the listing. Yeah, we just have to choose a color. Maybe let's actually just start from the top. Let me find my listing real quick. So I have 25 colors to choose from, and I have 6 of them that I have photos of right now. Yikes. And that is a brown, a white, mustard, red, light blue, and light green. So maybe I should do like a color family that I don't have a photo of. Would that be smart, maybe? So like a purple or a pink. My battery ran out, so the angle may have changed. Sorry. As I was saying, I think I want to do a pink. So our options are hint of pink, which is like a very pastel light pink, antique rose, which is like a dusty rose, pink berry, which is like a medium pink, and friendly pink, which is like a basic pink, maybe more in the realm of a hot pink. I think I want to do antique rose because that's a really pretty color. So let's go get it and make a bucket hat. Here we are. My ring light is very much in the way. I think this is antique rose and this is pink berry, I think. So it's kind of a process because they're stacked behind each other here. Uh-oh, things are falling. No. Oh no. Okay, I'm gonna need both hands for this, I think. Ugh. The labels keep getting stuck on each other when I try to pull them out. But here we are. Let's make a bucket hat. there it is. This color is so gorgeous. I really, really like it. Again, this is the Antique Rose color from Hobby. It is so pretty. I think it's like the perfect muted pink, I guess. Yeah, this is done, which is fantastic. There's still daylight outside. I mean, it's only like 2:30, so that's not weird. But since I finished it before the sun went down, I can just take photos and get that up right away, which is amazing. And now we are going to do the final spin of this video. So let me grab the spin wheel and let's see what we get. And for our last project, we got a bandana, which is perfect because I have a custom order bandana that I need to make right now. So let me pull up the photo that they sent me. So this is what they sent me, which is an AI rendition of a bandana that I have out for sale. Don't love that. But these are the colors. So I'm thinking that we do probably, it's kind of an interesting mix of colors. For the white, I don't think I have anything quite that, like, it's a bit more off-white than the off-white that I have. So for Hobby's colors, they basically go white, natural white, and then like brown. So this is what I have. So it's not quite as off-white as maybe they want, but it's what I have. So we're going to use this for the white. Excuse the background noise. And for the yellow color, I probably will use a mustard. And then I think I have a beige. I don't think I have kind of as, this kind of more looks like a light brown. I don't think I have that. So I think I'm gonna have to go with the beige because I think the brown I have would be too dark, I think, for this. So I'm gonna have to go with a beige, a white, and a mustard. And they wanted it sort of in that arrangement, I guess. Ugh. And they want it to be like one row per color, which is so many ends. But it's okay. We'll make it work. Maybe I can sneak in and do 2 per color. But yeah, let me gather up my yarn and we will make this bandana. Alrighty, there is a lot of background noise right now. I hope you can't hear it. So, I ended up finishing the bandana just in time to get a somewhat decent photo of it, which is great. So, I think that about wraps it up. So let's do a roundup of everything we made in this video. We ended up doing 4 projects. We have the beige knit beanie. This was made using Hobby Amigo XL yarn and Passionate Kelsey's pattern. We have the scarf. This was made using, what's it called? Trysil Air yarn that I got from my grandma. And it turned out very good. I think it's going to be very nice and warm for whoever ends up with it. We also made a pink bucket hat. So now I can add that to my listing and people can see what the color looks like, which is great. And finally, we finished this custom bandana. I think this actually turned out really nice. And because I did 2 rows, I could just go over and back and carry my colors, so I didn't have to cut them 40 billion times, which was really great. It turned out better than I expected, really. So that is done and ready to be shipped off to its new home. So all in all, I would call that a big success. I wasn't sure what to make, and I made 4 things, so that was great. Obviously, I would have made the custom bandana anyway, because it was an order, but I'm very happy with the outcome here. I just finished and packed everything away, and I realized I made a whole freaking bag, and I just completely forgot about it. We made 5 things. Oops. So, we made this, which is a Hobby 88 cotton print yarn, and a pattern by Viv Crochets on YouTube. And I'm also very happy with this. This might actually be my favorite thing that we made, because it's something new and it just looks really nice. I also forgot to mention that the bandana is made with cotton 84 from Hobby, and it is my own pattern. So if you want to, you can check out the YouTube tutorial on my channel, or I also sell a written pattern on my website. Let me know which of these is your favorite. Leave me a like if you like the video, and consider subscribing to the channel if you would like to see more content from me. Also, let me know if this is a video you would want me to do again. I always really like watching these videos, so I would be happy to do it again. Also, I could do different themes, so instead of projects, we could do different colors or something. We'll see. Leave your suggestions in the comments. And with that, I hope you have a lovely day, and I will see you next time.